Welcome to Surrogate Church. We are actually up to episode 5. Today I have with me some of the wonderful women from my writing group, and we'll call this episode Women of the Good Pen. So, during the course of the surrogacy, one of the things that really carried me through it was the support of the good women of my writing group. And for it, in many ways, one, I got to write with them every week, but the other is the kind of support that comes up in circles of women who really make the commitment to hear each other's truth, to not judge that, but to support it and be real with each other. There is a level of support that is beyond the regular realm of everyday life, and that certainly was tremendous for me in the process. So one of the first pieces I ever wrote for a surrogate church is called Sugar Deal. The blood test taken. I feel a little lighthearted. They tell me to eat some sugar. We will know in a few hours. Who should they call? Rosalie. It is her news to get and to share. I give them her cell phone number. She's in Brooklyn with Stephen and my mom. The call comes in. Me and the kids arrive. She's crying, happy or sad tears. I call Lee. We are all pregnant. He's thrilled. The test came out positive. A momentary sigh of relief, an all-over tingle of gratitude. Joy rushes in and then out. We can't let ourselves get too happy. It's too early yet. I can be pregnant today and not tomorrow. The process so fragile in all the tiny details. Thank you, thank you, thank you for opening this window. Thank you, body, for accepting this child as our own. Hold on tight. Surround her with all the nourishment she needs to root and grow and thrive. We go to Vegas Diner to celebrate. On the way back home, Rosalie and Stephen take my kids for ice cream. I'm still feeling lightheaded. Maybe I need some sugar. Stephen points up to the board of flavors. Your wish is our command. Rosalie chimes in. Your craving is my craving, so make it good. The line is long. They stand. I sit and wait. I start to feel really sick. Cramps in my back, my skin all blotchy. Oh God, please don't do this to them. Not another loss. I go into the bathroom. I look in the mirror. I start bargaining. Please, God, let my body hold on to this baby. I'll do whatever you ask. I turn to Mary Magdalene. I need your help. What can I offer you? I look around, images of ice cream, cakes, cones, cups, toppings, sprinkles, mix-ins all around me. That's it. I will give up sugar. How's that? The one substance that most profoundly clouds my connection to Source. I will give it up in order to be a clear vessel so that I can listen more effectively, channel your message, and allow the sweetness of your word to fall upon all ears that will hear. The feeling passes. Sugar? What did I just do? Did I give it up forever? No. Just, I think, the first trimester. Okay. I get out of the bathroom. Rosalie asks, so did you decide what flavor? I don't want any. What? Why not? I made a deal. Uh-oh. What are you talking about? I made a sugar deal. Shit. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. No sugar in order to hold on to the baby? Come on. Couldn't you have waited one more hour to make that deal? What goes for you goes for me. How long? Until we're out of the woods. 12 weeks? About that. That's impossible. Impossible? nothing is impossible. We look at each other and smile. Even though we have passed on the ice cream, we're both still full with the sweet taste of today's success. So, my dear audience, here's the deal. During filming today, I read the last piece that I wrote in Surrogate Church, but something happened with the recording and it didn't take. In the meantime, me and my wonderful ladies of the good pen, my writing ladies, sat and had a conversation about it all. So I was faced with a choice. Do I reread that piece and cut out some of the conversation I had with the ladies? Or do I just let it be as it happened? So I'm making the choice to let it go as it happened. There may be things that we discussed that you're quite not sure where the reference came from. It was something that they heard. There will be another time where I get to read it. I turn this show over every week to my guide in all of this, my Mary, the one who I made the original deal with. In making that deal with her in a time of so much uncertainty, didn't know which way things would turn out, she gave me a tool to get through it. She gave me the tool of writing. I thought I was making the deal to spread her word. She was really giving me the deal to speak my word. And for so many of us women, we've sort of made this agreement not to really show our true divinity, not to step forward and speak for what we need to speak for or who we need to speak with, because it's scary. And it ends up robbing us of not only our joy, but our purpose. So much of what we composed on the couch today was really the composition of women supporting women in being able to step forward, create the altar of their own church, that inner place that knows what needs to be brought into the world and how to be present. So to me, that's everything. And I welcome them with all my heart. I welcome the technical difficulty because it gave us more time to speak to each other and be with each other. And I welcome you to today's episode and thank you as always for joining us. Hope you enjoy our chat. So here we are on the couch. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. So while Bobby was fixing up the cameras and getting us back on track, we just had the greatest show ever. But it wasn't taped. So we're going to try this again. It's going to be different. I guess what was missed, but who cares? Here we go again. So here I am on the couch with three of my lovely writing group ladies. Jen, who has been in writing group from the start, she actually kicked off writing group. She called me randomly when Sacred Weave was published and said, do you do any kind of groups on this, right? I said, no, but we can. And so we started, and that was in 2002. Crazy. And she is the maker of the orb, and here it is. I'm not kidding. Look. How gorgeous. And I'm going to plug it into. Here are these little strips of the words. Look, ladies.
That's a lot of work. It's a live being.
It has a lot,
presence.
right? So much presence.
I love this.
And there is this little canvas in there that's covered in feathers. It's my resting place.
Yes.
So when I go, that's where I want to rest, in a little nest. Yeah. And now, speaking of nests with feathers, Jen is actually a chicken mother. Really doing a great job raising her own 3 children, but she has a whole
flock.
chicken flock.
How many chickens?
Quite a few.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah.
She is the chicken
I
mama.
love them. Wow. I'm a mother hen.
Yeah.
But this is one of the things that I thought was so funny with Jen's chickens. Jen loves eating eggs, right? She's an egg eater. Well, after caring and being immersed with her chickens, becoming the mother, she became allergic to eggs.
I can't eat my
Get out.
I think she's like really, her DNA's changing.
That's
To
wow.
chicken. She's chicken mother. She can't eat
But
her
you
own.
can eat your own. You can eat your babies.
It woke up something in you.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
in our,
wow.
it woke it up.
Yeah,
The chicken
that's
mother.
it. Yeah.
We also have Karen, who's just started in writing group. Now, Karen also is a neighbor of mine. Our kids went to school together, grew up around the corner from each other. She is also a magnificent hairdresser.
Thank you.
Didn't do my hair today.
No, but it looks great. It looks great.
Somebody else did. And love having you join the writing group.
Thank you. I love being part
And I
of
do
it.
think that hairdressers are like light workers because so many times you are working with women who are grieving some kind of a loss, breakup.
It's
loss of-
amazing how people open up to.
Yep.
Well, I guess you're in their personal space and the touching, whatever, but people will say things. And I find that out in my real life too, though. People will tell me things that are so deep, and everyone will say, "How do you know them?" I don't. And even when you sit in the chair, I don't know you, but you still open up and they just say things and feel safe about it.
And I think
and
that's-
move on, and it's good.
That's
Good.
you. That's your divine. That's
That's
like
really
this. We have Chicken Mama, but we also have like
Lazy cat lady.
no. Open the book to me. Tell me your secret lady. Could get it all out of there. And then the lovely Jen, who is so brave because she is really new to writing group and also hesitant about coming to the couch. We had writing group on Tuesday, and I was like, all right, lady, who's coming? I need some women for the show. Jen's like, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
What are we going to do? But you showed up, Jen. Thank you.
Glad to be here.
So I thought we'd start. Our last show, we transformed the set. And I thought it was so beautiful how it was done. And Richie, who was singing on it, said we could actually use one of his songs as a theme song. So Bobby, maybe you can play that in the background while we're setting up our set. But I was thinking of this idea of setting up an altar, right? In the piece that I read on ladies, take your place at your altar. And I think as women, we do create altars. And there's many ways to create an altar, and there's lots of different ways to go about it. But for me, the true infusion, making a space sacred, is bringing sacred objects, things that mean something to you, and then just infusing it with the light of God in whatever way you experience that. So I did ask you to bring some things with you. So why don't we just use this table? We will now energize it with the light of the universe, the most positive light, and see what we can set up, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we brought. Good?
Sounds good.
All right, so even cloths, we have our little mics on, so just if you get up.
Which is funny because what it says and what's in front of me is like, you have to read it. Okay.
Also, we could do the flowers, decorate any way you'd like. Yes, that's Palo Santo.
And look what's in front of me. The sparkle.
Oh, also, Jen, you have some tapestries. Go ahead.
Flowers too. That's really pretty.
Got some wires crossed. Sit back, just enjoy the show. You just got to let
one thing.
What did you bring? I didn't
Well,
even know.
I did, yeah.
Sparkle. That's great.
It says, "Don't let anyone dull your sparkle." And the story for this is, I actually bought this for you, and then I put it on my piano because I was like, "That's so cute." And then I said, "I'm going to bring this and give this to Mary Ann because it was meant to be with you in the first place." So,
Don't let anyone dull your sparkle.
and look what I'm sitting in front of, sparkles. It's good. That's where it was intended. That's pretty, Jen.
Oh, nice.
Really cute chair.
We are. We're adding our sparkle.
Got a little red in it.
Yeah, the red, it goes good with you.
Have you ever smelled this? What is it called? Palo Santo. Palo Santo. This is what they use in Mexico. It smells so good, different than sage.
We talk long into the night, and she said,
Where's your vase?
Oh, I put it down there, but
Jen,
Good.
you're such a good Girl Scout. I'm glad you came prepared.
Jen
I
is
feel like the most
You are so
most
good.
ill-prepared typically.
Are you kidding me? I brought one thing. What are you talking about? I brought me. It's like
No,
right
no,
in the
no. I'll
place,
just
isn't it?
flop them back here for some color.
They're beautiful.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
Actually, just all have elephants.
That one.
They smells good. Mandala one with cats on the edge of yoga, like in the living room. Beautiful. It smells great. My daughter was like, "What are you gonna do with that?" I'm like, "I'm gonna put it out and sit on it."
never go
Yeah, I'm
wrong
gonna
with tapestry.
Do you want me to move over?
Here we go.
Very nice. Aw.
Okay. Voila! Ladies, our altar. Here we are. Beautiful. Okay, so I know we were just looking at something. So, Karen, you brought sparkle.
Yes, because you always have a sparkle about you. That's what I love about you. You do. You shine everywhere you go. And so when I saw this and read it, it said, oh, this is Mary Ann. She never lets anyone dull her sparkle. But at this point in your life right now, I feel like you need to know that your sparkle really, it radiates everywhere. And we all appreciate it. And everyone who I see on the show that talks to you appreciates it. We all know it's there. So I bought it and I kept it. And now I want you to have it where it was intended to be. Because it was intended to be with you. So
Thank you, Karen.
that's my little
It's such a
token
good
for
heart.
you.
Thank you, thank you. Love
I
it.
don't even remember where I got it, but
It's beautiful.
I said, oh, this is so cute. It reminds me of Mary
And
Ann.
look, I think it's really hard as women not to get your sparkle dulled, right?
Yes.
I think we're up against a lot. And it's not only as women, but women with children, as mothers. And even, like with my hair, when I was little and when my kids were little and I would get my hair straightened, whatever, when I'd get it cut, I'd come home and they'd cry and say, where's your curly hair? We want your hair back. Like they really want to keep us in this certain little box that says, this is how you are, you're predictable, we know, nothing different, nothing out of the ordinary. So there is a lot of that kind of pushing down so they can grow up. I don't know if you found that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My two girls, all the time. Especially my 15-year-old. Oh, don't do that. That's embarrassing me. I'm just being me. Like, no, don't tell me how to behave. I know how to behave.
Right.
I'm an adult. But then sometimes they'll be like, oh, wait, was that? Like, I start questioning. I'm like, wait, why am I questioning myself? No?
Doubt,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Really, Mom?
To that,
Is
right,
that
yeah.
appropriate? Oh, wow. We just took a whole role reversal. That is so
doing it.
inappropriate. Like, I have my daughter telling me how inappropriate I am. Okay. But I think in life in general, too, you had touched on something that you said earlier about the perception of who we think we need to be, how other people tell us or mold us, or it's just like you're always, how do you want me to be? How do you want me to react to something? How do you want me? Who am I? It's like we're almost wearing different hats in different scenes we are and not really being authentic to ourselves.
Yeah.
Just opening up and saying, hey, this is who I am. the feeling of feeling judged is so, it's just, society's bad like that. It's getting easier, and I think people are saying, hey, this is who I am, so take it or leave it. And when my favorite part about, I was very blessed to go visit New Zealand, I felt like New Zealand was a place where people just do their thing and are who they are, but not in your face kind of a way. It's just so authentic, like you wear what you want, there wasn't like trendy things going on, it was just so different and so chill. I can't even explain it any other way. It was so nice. Like I keep saying, I'm gonna run away there. That's where I need to be.
No, I think that is probably like your spiritual place. When I was talking about that, with Jen's orb, this idea of a resting place, and I think that's connected in that, like, we don't have much time to rest because it's always moving and going, and what do you need? And it's like when we stop, when we retreat, when we rest, when we set our altar, then maybe we have a chance of even knowing who that person is. And it is interesting because I know the box in a way, it's such support in this, like breaking the deal of the marriage, right? The first piece I read about the deals, like when do you know what the deal breaker is? And for me, like I know that I can put up with a lot. And there came a point where I just thought, oh, if I don't break this deal, I'm not going to like the version of me that's going to have to remain here. So that was the shift. But like even having space to ask that question, like, wait a second, who really am I? What do I have to bring? How do I end this book? Like, what is my message? I don't know. Or I'm scared to know.
Yeah.
So, it's hard. But this idea of joy too, and fear, right? How joy and fear work hand in hand. Any like particular moments sort of stand out in your life where you felt like that was joy? Like New Zealand could be that, this is more bliss, right? That, or where you really had to be brave and come to know more of who that divine part of you is. Like who is that? And I think we come to know it in those places. I don't know. Thoughts on that? A moment of joy where it's like, or bravery, or both.
I don't want to be the only one chatting, but
No,
You start us off.
I'll
You're
say,
a good key.
this big,
the gens are shy.
you guys have heard.
The Jen sandwich. Oh, your sandwich! The Jen sandwich! Carried in the middle.
It's an issue.
All right, ladies.
The big run that I did. So I had so much fear and anxiety and panic about it, getting ready for it for 4 months. And when it was finally done, it was the fear of the unknown. Am I going to embarrass my daughter? Will I embarrass myself?
Now, what kind of run was
So
this?
that was the Ragnar Relay. I got in a van. I spent about 34 hours in a van from 3 a.m. Friday, and then all day Saturday. Slept, ate, drank, everything in there. And I did 5 legs of a run. So total, I did 16 miles. 2 4-mile runs and 1 7, which was supposed to be 0.6, but it really was 7.79. So I'm going to say 8. That was, but it was hills, it was everything. When it was over and I finally did the, okay, that's done. I woke up in the middle of the night worrying about it. I had such anxiety. I hyperventilated. I cried. It was so scary getting ready for it, for all the reasons of, will people look at me and say she's so old? What is she doing? A million things went in my head. Flip side, when it was over, I felt so empowered, and I literally held my head higher, and I walked around on Monday saying, I'm a badass, like, I can do that. But I also thought to myself, wait, you have always been a badass. Like, where were you? Like, talking about the squashing, like, I got my first tattoo when I was 18 years old. Females didn't have tattoos, things I did, shark fishing. I pulled a person off I ran onto traffic and saved a man's life. So that's not like, I think I've always been a badass. Not that I walk around saying, I'm going to be a badass, that's how I'm going to act. But when I said that to myself, like, wow. And I was like, wait a minute, Karen, where have you been?
Yes.
Something was missing. And then it just kind of brought it back to life again, which felt good to feel like almost like myself. Like,
Yeah.
just be who you are. Just
And that was
live
like,
your
that's
life.
such an event that holds both the fear and the joy of the accomplishment. The other thing about Karen, I don't know if you know this, but Karen is a heart finder. Like, she spots hearts in random places, anywhere.
I wrote a heart. She
Oh,
started showing me some of her photos. Yeah.
there it is.
I
And
have
so
a mini
she's
version,
so
yeah.
along with that, there's like the same way that you're a badass, but then you're also like finding hearts in unexpected places.
Oh my God, my cousin had frosting on her face the other day. I was like, wait, let me get my phone. Like, you're ridiculous. I go, it's a heart. It was a pink heart on her face. Yeah, they just pop up.
They
And
just pop up. All right, let's play a writing game since we're writers. So Karen just told us, right, her kind of her joy moment, her brave moment. We got a sense of Karen. Let's take this. Our wild and free markers from writing group. So me,
I was going to say, do we need
no,
glasses?
we're going to write a big one
can write big
here.
with
Let's
markers.
pass that to the other Jen. Karen, you don't need to do it. We'll do it for you. Ladies, pick a color you're going to think about, and then we'll hold them up. So, who is Karen in her divinity? Like, what's the role? You could use an adjective and a role.
you need the paper
Yeah,
there.
I need a piece of paper.
Oh, sorry. That's you. Karen doesn't write it.
I was going to make you do it.
No. So we'll just write it
I'll do all the
quickly, and then
talking.
we'll hold it up for her.
That's so funny.
So,
Like, who would she be? Like a superhero, sort of. The whatever. Woman or priestess or whatever.
I'll do like this.
Pausing to, okay. I'm pausing to really.
one word, like a word popped into my head. Can I just write
Yes,
the word?
yes.
The word popped in right away, and I'm like, is it appropriate? Like, here I go.
Go. Trust yourself, Jen. On the spot
questions.
writing.
Yeah.
Part of our writing group, which is so torturous, is we write during our writing group sessions. So to write on the spot, everything sounds shitty, but you have no choice. And then not only do we write, we have to read what we wrote.
See, now being new at that and
Yes.
not being a writer and being part of any of it, I don't feel that pressure at all. So, and most of the time I think, oh, well, I probably missed the whole point of it, but there it is. But it
No,
just-
because you write like you speak. And if you do that, then it's authentic. It just flows.
it just pops out.
It just pops in.
Well, I have to
Okay.
write what I thought too first, even though I'm.
All right, let's see what
I'm
we got.
editing.
You know, and I
Who-
feel bad because the other night you were saying, I feel like I'm doing it wrong. And I was like, but there is no wrong. It's like art. It is.
There is no
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Not if you're connected to truth. Even if the truth is, I have nothing to say. Like, I am
Right,
drawing
that was so
a
good.
blank.
Right. Like, I didn't feel like I was doing it wrong. I was just
Right.
frustrated because nothing was coming. I was like, shouldn't there be more coming? Nothing more was coming. It
Right.
wasn't flowing. And I actually retried to do the exercise again.
Yes.
And I started out great. And then it happened again. I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
It wasn't meant to
be.
be.
Yeah.
I tried again. And sometimes I have redone the exercises at home.
That's-
like, just
that's really
to
great.
see where I go with it, and it's flowed better or flowed a little easier. But what was interesting was between the last time we met and
Yes.
this time, I really didn't do any writing. And I don't like writing, which is one of the things I said to you when
Yes.
you said you want to join. I said,
That's so
yes, I
funny.
do, because I want to. That's
Yes.
like, I want to get that part of my voice, and and I did. So I thought that was really interesting. Why I felt so stuck in like my thoughts, and nothing was coming.
That is great because we're now with the month gap, we just meet once a month. And so that's a long time to go without putting the pen to the paper. But it gave you enough of a push to go and try again, which is like, that's great. Like, that's all you need to do. All right, who is our Karen in her divinity? What did we get? Go ahead. Which says? She is the lover! Watch out, John Watt. We've got a lover on the couch. I think Karen is blushing. She never blushes.
That's sweet.
But you are of so many things.
Thank you.
right? I think love is at her
Definitely.
center.
She offered to pick me up. She's like, "Do you want me to pick you up?" I was like, "Awesome, I'd love it."
Right?
My
To
teenage
travel
daughter, 'cause
with
she got
someone.
my car.
Oh, nice.
And I loved it too.
Thank you.
That
Good.
is
I
a
love that you
lover.
came.
That's so great.
That's nice.
Jem, what'd you get?
My first thought when you said it, then I started to go, oh, wait, be more. No, the sparkly badass.
Yes!
Yeah, and I
Love
envision you
it.
after your race, like sparkling, and like you said, but feeling like that badass, that deep down, just
Thank
when
you.
you do something you really aligned with and love and feel good about yourself, that's joy.
I didn't love anything
That's the
about it,
sparkle.
but I
That's
love
the
that I
sparkle.
finished it.
That you did it. You did.
I
I have
conquered it.
similar. I have the kind-hearted badass who can go the distance.
Thank you.
And I think that's really key. Like, I would so trust you. Like, if I had to walk a distance, I would want you beside me. Like, whatever, metaphorically or in real life. Like, Karen will take you to from the beginning to the end,
Never give up. That's
Right.
what it says.
right?
Never give up.
That's who you are. Got to bring it in. You got it. You do, but like to feel it and really walk
own
the
it.
world with it.
Because when you own that persona or whatever, you do feel like, especially in the generation we grew up in, you were not supposed to be a badass. You were supposed to be, yes, thank you, whatever, polite, sweet, serving the man.
Yep. And there is a lot. Maybe it is American culture, like you say. It's not in New Zealand, but I feel like everything is sort of like this hierarchy. Even like with the sound healing woman that I was talking to, and she said, "You're on the lower level of the spiritual evolution." Like, is there like this like, oh, you're an old soul, I'm a young soul? Like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it is the moment. It is the moment, and it's trying to unpeel those layers of, wait a second, who am I and what am I supposed to bring into the moment? And then where do I need to really step forward?
Right. Who makes the levels? Who's the level police?
Right. Who does that? Right. We do that. And
Right.
we buy
Judgment.
into it. Our own judgment.
Yeah.
Like you said, the judgment.
So true. All right. So how about one of the two Jens, your joy or brave moments? Go ahead, Jen.
I actually given some thought to it when you were saying it. I think I've yet to. I'm still getting there. I think
You're still finding it.
I'm really still living in that place of a little fearful of yet getting. I don't know. When I think about it, I don't know how brave I feel about. Like, sure, there are a lot of things I feel like excited or good, like when it comes to the kids, that type of brave. But when I'm just looking at just me, just putting kind of myself out there, I'm kind of still walking into that, still trying to let go of who I think I'm supposed to be, or who am I, or who do I want to,
Who you think
forth.
people see.
Yeah, like exactly.
What do they see when they're looking
don't-
at me? That kind of
exactly.
thing.
What do you think comes easy to you?
And that's what I try to think about when when you really get that moment of joy. It's when you get that little feeling of. It's like it's not about anything you're doing really. It's just about when you're being your authentic self in that moment and just feeling that. So and I think that's always a struggle for me. Like it happens, but it's a little dribs and drabs. So I trying to uncover. Like you said, kind of like we go through all these years trying to cover up and kind of just be well behaved.
Well
And follow
behaved,
the rules
right?
and do what we're supposed to do and kind of I think I got a little stuck in that, and now kind of coming to the stage where my kids are becoming more independent. Now it's time for me to become a little more independent.
You get
and
more time
kind
to
of-
sit and reflect too,
Yeah,
and then you start
yeah.
thinking more
I-
too.
it
when you're
sounds
not
silly, but-
driving around everywhere,
Yeah.
going to practice.
Sometimes
or,
I do think, like,
Yeah.
what would I want to do? Or even when you talked about the rest, where is that place of rest I go to? I still need to establish those things. I kind of lost. I'm sure I lost it. I'm sure it
You're
was
in a
there.
big transition stage though
I
right now
am.
with your kids.
Oh my
age.
gosh,
Yeah.
she's
You
starting
are.
the launching.
And,
Yeah.
and something that
There's a
came
lot
up
of loss there.
grief the other night, and I was thinking, I couldn't help thinking about it, and even when it happened, I should have just said it. When we flipped through the thing and she read her little passage, and I said, when I remember being kind of where you are now, like maybe a little bit past it even, and our friend Conchetta, when her daughter went to college, we met at the park one day at the fair, and she was like, so devastated, happy as I was too when my daughter went to college, but also devastated.
so-
And I said it's a grieving process. Like part of what you are so used to, that part of your life is gone. It's dead. It's not coming back. Your children are independent. This
And
is
it
what we
becomes who
want.
you are.
Right.
Yeah, and you
we
work
want
towards
that,
that,
and we're happy for that. But then something is so sad about it also, because that's part of us that they don't need anymore. And it's like, what do I do with that? Where does that go?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it does feel like that, like there is so much energy is invested in giving them the best of us, right? Like you want them to have the best.
Yeah.
And like, oh, where does this best go?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Right. Now you're not focusing on them anymore, and it's like, what? Now what?
No.
yeah.
What do I want?
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah.
So we'll help you.
And it's I
gonna do.
feel positive about it. I feel
Yes.
like I'm
All right,
I'm
ladies.
gonna be brave. I'm gonna be.
All right.
All
Who
right.
is Jen? Okay. What have we got for Jen? Go ahead, Jen. Jen to Jen. Who are you, Jen?
Going along her lovely journey with a smile on her face and heart.
Oh, the journeyer. I've certainly known you as that, the seeker, always seeking,
Yeah.
but with a smile, right? And it does feel lovely. And I like that because you use that word.
I love. Yeah.
She uses the
Lovely.
word lovely a
really?
lot. I've
Oh,
noticed
okay.
that, and you totally picked up on the lovely.
It's funny. Oh.
I feel like you're so more powerful than you know, and I think you are so super cool and authentic. And when I first met you, I was like, she's just so cool. I think she's a cool chick.
She
Cool chick.
is.
You are. Every time she comes, I'm like, she's got her flip-flops on, it's 0 degrees out, I'm freezing, and she's like, no, I'm ready for a summer. I'm like, she's so cool.
I like that. She puts the cool in midlife.
Oh.
She puts the cool in hot flashes.
Cool
We
chick.
need
I
her
know,
around.
Jen.
All
You're a
right,
super
I've got
cool
a couple
chick.
for you. The brave turtle. Because I do feel like you carry such a sense of home on your back. Like you come in and it just feels hospitable, like to be around you. You're welcoming and home, but that's such bravery. The older sister to the world. Like there's a sense of you'll show up, I can count on you. And then the last one, maybe this is who you are right now, I am here, and that is good enough. I'm here. I'm here. That's it. I don't have to have a fancy name to it. I'm here.
Right.
I'm thinking about it. I'm
Yes.
okay. Whatever it is, but I am here. Which takes us a long time to arrive, right? All right, so Miss Jen, let's go. Your turn. Something joyful, brave.
You know, I could relate to a lot of what Jen was saying, and I feel like I'm at a point right now where, we were talking about losing our voice and and I feel like, my kids are getting older now, and there were times when we were moving out to Long Island from the city, and then becoming a mom, and I think a lot of it had to do with becoming a mom, because we're giving all of our energy and identity, we lose part of it, because now we have all these different roles, and like right now, my kids are older. It's like, okay, now what do I want? So I've added yoga, I've added the writing, I'm adding all these things that I love doing, and I'm like, it will come back, it will, So I don't, and I find, and so when I was thinking about it, like, where do I find joy? I find joy most of the time where I can just stay present.
Yes.
Where I can be present in the moment. Like when you talk about the Lion King, I remember going to the Lion King, and we went to Ellen's,
Yes.
and like that was so much fun, and I think back to when the kids were little, and there were such joyful memories. there was no judgment. It was just pure fun. And now when we were talking, you know, the girls, you can't do that. You can't do that. And it's like, and then, you know, it's like, I got lost in the shuffle, you know, with marriage and kids and life and medical issues. And now it's like, okay, now it's calm. And I love it. So I can add all these things that I'm enjoying and want to conquer some of these fears, you know. The other night we talked about sink or swim. You know, I want to jump into a pool. Like, that's one of the things on my bucket list that I'm afraid. I'm afraid. And why? I know how to swim. I used to do it, you know. We were talking with my brother. He's like, women don't jump into pools. And I'm like, little girls do.
Yes.
You know, like, and
You're right, though.
You know,
That's
and I know plenty of women who do. I'm just not one of them. I you know, got some fear somewhere along the way. You know, I'm not sure why, but I feel like I'm at the place now that it's going to that next phase. It's going to that next place.
It's transitioning.
And I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of it. I know that. You know, it'll be good.
That's
because I'm adding all good things, and I'm only adding things that I love doing. That I enjoy doing. If I don't enjoy it, I don't, you know. And it's funny, when I was coming here, I asked my one daughter, because when they started coming into their own in like clothes and they started picking out what they were going to wear, they're like, "Oh, Mom, you can't wear that." And then I would question it. I never used to question myself. I never, you know, I was very confident, you know. Like, and then it's like, wait a second, where did all that go, you know? And sometimes I wonder, is it suburbia? Because I grew up in the city. I didn't give it what anybody said or did, you know, and I lost a lot of that. And I'm glad it's coming back, and I'm speaking out. Yesterday, I just walked out of my house, and I was like, I'm not listening to all you people and all your comments telling me what to do. Goodbye, I'll be at the car. Ready? I'm waiting for you out here. I'm not, you know, I'm done.
Good for you.
So I don't know that I have a specific moment that I can define.
Right.
Like that, you know.
All right, let's see what we come up with. All righty. Who is Jen?
Thank you.
You got?
Thank you.
All right, what have we got for Jen?
Oh, I know this is silly. This is what came to my mind when you were talking about it, about your kind of taking from here, just like a melting pot. That's like I just feel like
that
just,
image.
and you're just, and I guess just everything, your whole journey of life. But then right now you're kind of like taking from here and there and kind of just in the
Blending it all
yeah,
together.
yeah, and kind of just seeing where you go with it. So that's the what came to my mind.
I love
probably
that.
not the
That's nice.
No, I
right
like
answer. Melting pot.
I am a melting pot. My nationality. I've got little of everything.
Oh, so you have it.
I don't find that honestly.
You want me to go?
I could go. I came up with a couple. I have the optimistic child. I feel so much child energy in you. Like, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and even that idea of grown women don't jump into pools, but little girls do. Like, I feel like there is such a girlish spirit with you. I love it. The sweet rebel.
Ooh.
So sweetness, but at the same time, there is definitely a rebel there. And then I was thinking, fully rely on God, your frog, so I said the frog princess with your secret
That's
code.
good.
I have on Facebook, when you text.
Yes.
I actually just recently, and I lost her, an image of a frog with the crown on and her batting eyelashes, and she's all beautiful.
There
and
she
I can't find her. She disappeared. I sent her to someone. I have to find her now. I'll send it to her.
And stay the frog. You don't have to get a kiss from a prince to become the princess, the real princess.
So similar to you, Marianne, I said a timid little fireball because I feel like she's got this timid, but there's like a fireball waiting to come out of her.
I love that. I love it.
It's in there. All right, good. I was like, she'll think I'm crazy.
No.
Good.
No, I lost the fireball somewhere. I used to be a fireball.
coming out. See?
And I was always, and somewhere along the way it got lost and dulled. But like
that's
I was
what
saying
happens.
the other day, like, let my soul shine.
Yes.
It's there. It's just
That's what
a little
happens.
dull these days. It's not as bright as it used to be. And one day it will shine brighter than the sun. It used to, and now it's just such a transition phase we're at, in life.
Yeah.
As moms and kids that are getting older and, like, a whole host of challenges right now.
And when I came across that piece in Revelations on how the women had to flee into the woods and they would be protected by mother and father, if we think back, like, women were the spiritual centers of everything. There was the wild. They were connected to nature, to the moon, to the earth, and they danced and sang and expressed and created and had their magic or their medicine even. Like, what is the medicine that you bring to the world? And I did this workshop with a Peruvian shaman. And he took this big feather, he was doing his thing, and he pointed at me. He's like, "What's your medicine? What's your medicine?" I'm like, "What's my medicine? I don't know what that means. Like, what do you bring to the world to bring healing?" I was like, I do not know. And I was talking with him afterwards, and he said, it's just what you do most naturally. Like, you don't even need to think about it. And I thought, well, I think that was mothering. That was the role that kind of just pulled me the strongest and had a lot of challenges in it. He said, "So you have mother medicine." Like, isn't that interesting?
So simple
like,
and so
like
amazing.
Stop trying to fight who you are was basically the message. What you do with love is your medicine. So if you love to make bread and you are making that bread, then your bread is medicine. It's whatever you do fully with that sense of love. But so women had to be shut down from their practices, from their way of doing medicine. They were the doctors. They were the ones who were doing it. Spiritually, physically, the whole works. And they basically were given three choices. You either go into the woods and hide and do your wild practice there. You just have, like, play dumb and say, no, I'm not doing this anymore, and then you secretly do it. Or you just conform and do the spiritual way of the church at that time. We'll conform to your way. So I think that is something that I loved asking myself, like, which one would I have done? Which one do I do in my life now? And I think I'm a hider. I totally like to stay in the closet. That's why doing this show is so, like, what am I doing? Out of my comfort zone. I know my power, but I don't want to show it to the world. So that would be me. What do you think you ladies are or were at that,
I'm
period?
definitely running in the woods.
You ran into the woods.
I'm running.
I see you there. I see you conjuring up and just being there.
And I just love nature and being part of it. And that's how I feel about you, too. I feel like you're such a Mother Earth soul, too. And the squashing of the soul or living a lie, that's one thing I can't do, is live a lie.
Yeah. Right?
Don't ask me to be
somebody
I
I'm
might
not.
be confused about who I am, but don't ask me to be something that
I cannot
yeah.
turn into a version of myself that I can't live with. So true. Any ideas from the... I love our two Jens, our Karen sandwich.
Okay, so what are my choices?
So what did you... Yeah, fight. So you either... Oh, that was the other one, that you fought back, that you were a rebel.
So
You fought back. You were like, no, I don't care. Burn me, throw me in a dungeon. Go into the woods and just live in the woods, or kind of play dumb, hide, and pretend that you're conforming and do your own thing in your own mind. So fight, flight, or what's that? Pretend, hide.
Do you want me to go?
Go ahead.
You thinking about it?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I know my answer. I don't like my answer, but I would be a conformist because I am a rule follower. However, so I have two answers. I would still be hiding and doing my own thing in privacy.
And so you know how to disguise your power. So then it becomes hard to know your true power.
Yes.
Because it's like disguised.
Yeah.
It has to be watered down a little bit. So you don't get in trouble.
That's it.
That's me.
Yep.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could see all three.
Yeah.
I could really see all three.
The melting pot.
I could. Like, there's a part of me that, when I look at something, it's like, well, yeah, I could go that way. I can definitely fight for this and think it's this, but then at the same time be like, yeah, well, sometimes just go with the flow. It is easier, like,
Right.
not that it's that I'm giving in, but sometimes it's like, how important is it? Depends on what it is.
Yes.
And then, there are times that, no, I want nothing to do with it. I'm staying back here and let the rest go by, and I'll enjoy Mother Earth and go for my walks and
Yes.
go along my merry way, and I don't care what's going on. So I would think it's a combination.
So that, maybe the question is, what are you willing to fight for? What are you willing to fight for? Yeah.
Yep.
What are you willing to die for?
Same.
Mother medicine,
I'm
ladies.
about to cry.
That's the
It's
battle
true.
cry. There's no fear.
No.
And so if we can think of our divinity as that child that's been put into exile within ourselves, that had to go into exile for whatever reason, society, culture, our family, our upbringings, maybe we need to really fight for that child. That's interesting.
I feel like though we have been good at giving our daughters. I know we have too, but giving them so much power.
So true.
We did.
What do you? Let's really end with
think I
this
gave you too much
today.
power.
No, I love that.
I
What
really did.
power do you think you've given your girls? Because we all have girls on this couch.
Yeah.
That's a great question, and that's beautiful. So, right, what we might not have had. What have we given to our daughters? What do you think?
Hopefully I gave them power to feel, just be who you are and don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just live your own authentic life. And I feel like they are like that.
Yeah.
They don't,
Yeah.
that honestly, I can't even say I feel like they are. They are like that. If everybody's wearing this and doing that, they're not doing it, they're doing that.
They're going to do it there.
They're doing it.
Because somehow they got the message from you that you celebrated that. Right?
I did. Yes.
You reflected a shine back. I love that you wear your
Right.
bandana to
Right.
school every day.
You think that Ranger jersey is that velvet fufu dress that other girl feels gorgeous in? That's great.
Yes, you reflected the shine. Beautiful. Jen,
Okay,
what
this
do you?
one I'm good. This one I can go.
Go.
To use their voice.
Ah, that was mine.
I was gonna
The
say-
voice.
You are two pieces of bread.
What I was
Two
Right away
pieces
when
of
she
bread.
said that,
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
the
Voice. Now,
Yep.
one of them is more strong in using it all around, all places.
Yep.
And the other one is definitely good at using it at home and with me, and safe with me. And which is good and bad, it had, but she's learning to use it outside as well. Like, she's a lot more selective. But the fact that she can tell me whatever it is she's thinking, whether I like it or not, and sometimes I don't like it.
Phenomenal.
Sometimes I'm like, shut up, or I don't like her. Stop.
Phenomenal.
Do you know, like, now I'm like, when to stop? Like, enough already? Like, learning that balance. But the fact that she can use it, and tell me,
Yes,
regardless,
that's
like
so
yesterday,
important.
she called me immature. She's like, who's the immature one? Now you're the immature one. And then I was like,
She's
I have to
surpassing
stop.
you.
But I was like, you know what? Well, I am acting like a kid. She did this, so I did that. And we're both sitting there picking each other. I was like, okay, I am being a child, but the fact that she has the courage to use her voice.
Yeah.
So
It'll
powerful
come back
for
to
girls to be able to say no to their parents, like to stand up and say, nope, this doesn't work for me. But also, like what you, even in the way you just told the story, Jen, like taking their criticism, their feedback seriously. Because I think that it comes from love with them too. So when they say you're being immature, you're not like, don't be rude, don't talk to me that. You're like, wait a second, am I being immature? I guess I am.
Okay.
That's a big give. Who had that? I didn't have that growing up.
Yeah.
Certainly not. And how about your version of voice, having them have a voice?
Yeah, just not being afraid to and there was always that fear of like saying no, like just to disappoint or not do what somebody wanted you to do or something. I don't or just or
Yes.
maybe not. Yeah, maybe.
Right? Like express their
Yeah,
needs
like-
without being afraid to hurt someone else's feelings or your feelings.
Or even like that, knowing your own boundaries and no, that's not going to work for me. That I just didn't have that bravery to. It was there. I just couldn't. So I really encourage and I'm glad to see it. Sometimes, like you said, it's a little, woo, that's a lot.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's you don't want that. You don't want that for them.
No.
Because you know what it feels like.
And sadly, by example, I'm sure you did the same thing. When you put yourself in a position where you didn't want to do something, where you
Yeah.
felt used or abused or whatever, and I would say to my kid, don't do what I do.
Exactly.
You don't have to always say yes.
We
You
could
don't
cut
have to.
this legacy.
Yeah, don't be like
Yeah.
that. And my next door neighbor has a great bumper sticker. It says, "Speak your mind, even if your voice trembles." And I always used to say that too.
See?
Because
Yeah.
sometimes it does.
So special.
It's hard to get it out, but you just have to.
And today on Instagram, one of those sayings came up, and I took a picture and sent it to my girls. It was just something along the lines of be aware or ask yourself when you're saying yes, if you're saying no to yourself.
Oh, that's
Right?
good.
Isn't that
Yeah.
exactly that? Because
Yes.
that, yes, am I really denying my truth in this or not? And, when with my kids, there was someone who, a dear old friend of mine who was watching the show, and she had seen Sage and Mary, two of the kids, and she hasn't seen them since they were little. She said, "My gosh, your children seem to, like, they come off like," she said, "it's not at all entitlement, but it's like they have a right to be here." I thought that was such a powerful reflection, because I know that I felt so much of my life the feeling of like, is it okay for me to be here? Like even now I go into situations or a party or something, I'm like, is it okay for me to be here? What is it all right? But that sense of they have a right to be here. And it's like kind of what I wrote for you. And that is enough, just being here, like you're here. You're here. And I actually remember when they were little and I would get mad at them about something, I would think to myself, but I'm so glad they're here. I would actually remind myself of that. What would happen if they weren't here? How, like, what would life look like? And it would snap me back to the moment. So those are powerful gifts we're bringing to our girls. And our boys. I don't want to leave boys out of that mix either, because our boys need to have their authentic voices heard and to feel like they can be who they are, and they have every right to be here. So with that, ladies, any final thoughts before we close this week's episode of The Good Pen?
As always, it's what you just bring such energy to everything. The way you said about the, today's show, when we meet to
Beautiful.
write, what you bring, how you have a show up, and it's like, this was great. This was
was
phenomenal.
easy.
And I would walk away learning something, and feeling something, and the way we all say who we think the other one is. We've done that a few times
Yes.
now in
Yeah.
writing, and and the way people say, I'm like, ooh, that's true. It's like I forget certain things that come.
Yeah.
So this has been
And we
wonderful.
need each other. We do not exist in a vacuum. Like, we need each other to remind us. Like to say, don't let anybody dull that sparkle, or you keep going, or right, you're really a Spitfire. Remember the
Girl
Spitfire.
power.
Beautiful. Loved having you ladies
Thank you.
here.
Loved
You're
being here.
three, and I love three, like 3 sisters, 3 daughters. Love
I
the
showed you
3.
that picture.
Right, yes.
I said I took this picture for Mary and the 3 sisters.
I love it, and there you are.
And here we are, the corn and the bean and
And the squash all together, corned beans and squash. Awesome. All right, my lovely
Thank you.
ladies. Thank you. And
Where do I sign for my own show?
please, you
mouth's okay.
come on. No, that
I'll have these two sitting next
Wait,
to me. And I'll
okay.
just-
Every time I think I'm ending the show, another thought comes. So this is our real ending, Bobby. I promise.
I love it.
Sorry,
If each of the women on the couch could have a talk show, what would it be called?
Oh
Okay.
my God. I would say, let's get real.
Yours Get Real. That's the title of your show. Let's Get Real.
Let's Get Real,
Love
yeah.
that segment. Title of your show.
I was thinking a chicken show.
The Chicken Mama! The Chicken Mama!
I really love my chickens. Like,
I was going to say, my mom show chicken dance all over the
I could
place for
talk
you.
about them for a long time.
Come on. All right,
Yeah,
Bobby, I'm
it's
drumming
very
up some
confident.
business for you.
About my chickens.
Come on, Jen, you got something.
We'll go with the fireball.
Yeah.
Fireball.
Resurrecting the fireball,
Yeah.
bringing the fireball out of exile.
There we go.
There's the journey. All right, coming attraction. I think the first to launch will probably be Let's Get Real.
Real here.
Let's
Get
She's
real.
ready.
She's ready to go.
Yeah.
She's perfect for it.
We'll
All
bring
of
our
it.
energy along.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll help you out. All right, light it up. We have collage art here with us today, and it says light it up. So light it up. Find the joy, push past it, bring your light to whatever it is, and think about like who is in exile there? Who's your inner goddess, priestess, magician, medicine woman? Because there is definitely a divine role inside of you. Until next time, thank you. Thank you for watching. And again, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
We love you.